Probably seen the 30-hour fast everywhere lately. Some creators promise fat loss overnight, laser focus, and a total reset. Here's the honest version for people over 40. And here's my position after testing this myself and watching hundreds of people try it. This is a tool, not a miracle. And honestly, most people are using it wrong. Used well, it can teach your metabolism to switch fuels and reduce those relentless evening cravings that make you raid the pantry at 9 p.m. Used poorly, and this is where I need you to pay attention, it can wreck your sleep, spike your stress hormones, and make you give up by lunchtime, swearing you'll never fast again. So why am I making this video? Because I think you deserve the truth without the hype, and I want to show you how to test this safely so you can decide for yourself if it belongs in your life. Here's what I've learned. After 40, your body doesn't forgive shortcuts the way it did at 25. The tiny resilience you had back then, staying up late, skipping meals, recovering fast, starts fading. And that's not weakness, that's biology. Your cortisol patterns shift, your insulin sensitivity changes, and your sleep architecture becomes more fragile. So when you throw a 30-hour fast into that mix without preparation, you're not biohacking, you're just adding stress to an already busy system. And stress, my friend, is the thing that sabotages everything else you're trying to build. Let me be clear about what actually happens in a 30-hour window, because most videos skip this part. In the first 12 hours, you're mostly riding on last night's dinner. Your body's comfortable. It knows this rhythm. From 12 to 16 hours, hunger often peaks, not because you're starving, but because your routine is changing and insulin is drifting down. This is where most people panic and think, I can't do this. But here's the shift. After 16 hours, if you stay calm and hydrated, many people feel surprisingly settled. The body leans more on stored fat, ketones start rising, and that frantic "I need food now" feeling softens. Between 24 and 30 hours, the brain often feels quieter and more focused, provided you keep stress low and hydration steady. But here's my warning. Treat claims about minute-by-minute deep cleaning and autophagy activation with serious caution. In humans, the direction is plausible, but the clock is not a stopwatch. You're not hitting some magic threshold at hour 27. Think of this as lowering noise in your system, not performing cellular magic. Now, before we go further, I need to give you the safety boundaries because this matters more than any benefit. If you use insulin or sulfonylureas, take SGLT2 medications, are pregnant or breastfeeding, have a history of eating disorders, kidney issues, gout, serious heart rhythm problems, or you're on multiple prescriptions, this is not the place to start. Full stop. Talk to your clinician first. And I mean actually have the conversation. Don't just assume it's fine. Even if you're healthy, the basics matter more than willpower. Sleep that is decent, protein at each meal on normal days, 2 light strength sessions a week, and simple walks after eating. If those aren't in place, fix them first. A 30-hour fast won't save a broken foundation. It'll just expose it faster. So, here's what we're actually doing in this video. We're going to run one careful, low-drama trial. You're going to evaluate 4 signals: time to fall asleep, night wakings, afternoon cravings, and morning energy. And at the end, you'll decide if this tool belongs in your toolkit or if a smaller, more sustainable window serves you better right now. No ego, no "I have to finish this," no social media bravado, just data. Have you ever noticed that the people who succeed long-term aren't the ones who go the hardest? They're the ones who test, adjust, and keep going. That's the mindset I want you to carry into this. Ready? Let's talk preparation, because that's where most people fail before they even start. Preparation makes or breaks this experiment. And here's where I see most people stumble. They decide on a whim, skip dinner, and wake up the next day wondering why they feel awful. That's not fasting, that's just skipping meals with extra stress. Before we go into the practical steps, I need to emphasize something critical. If you have any pre-existing health conditions, diabetes, thyroid issues, adrenal problems, blood pressure concerns, hormone imbalances, or if you're taking any prescription medications, talk to your doctor before attempting this. Not after, not if something feels wrong, but before. This conversation isn't optional, and it's not about being overly cautious. It's about being smart. Your physician knows your full health picture and can tell you if fasting is appropriate for you right now, if modifications are needed, or if a different approach would serve you better. Even if you feel healthy, a quick check-in adds a layer of safety and gives you confidence as you test this protocol. This channel is about empowering you with information, not replacing medical guidance. Got it? Good. Now let's talk about how to prepare properly. 24 hours before your fast, you're going to set 2 clear times: when you stop eating and when you will break the fast. Write them down, put them in your phone, make them real. And here's something most people don't do but should: pre-log your first meal for the end of the fast. A palm of protein, 2 fists of vegetables, a thumb of healthy fat, and a small serving of smart carbs if you truly need them. Why do this now? Because when you're 28 hours in and your brain is fuzzy, you won't make good decisions. You'll either overeat or panic and grab the wrong thing. Planning removes that moment of chaos. Now, hydration and electrolytes. Put a big bottle of water on the counter and keep a pinch of salt or electrolytes nearby. Here's why. When insulin falls during fasting, you lose fluid faster. That's not dangerous, but if you ignore it, you'll feel lightheaded, cranky, and weak, and you'll blame the fast when really it's just dehydration. A little sodium in your water helps. I'm not talking about chugging salt packets. I'm talking about a 1/4 teaspoon in a liter of water, maybe twice during the day. Simple. Tell your household what you're doing. I know that sounds small, but if your partner waves fresh cookies at you at 10 p.m. or your kids ask why you're not eating breakfast, it adds mental load you don't need. Just say, "I'm testing something for a day. I'll be back to normal tomorrow." Done. The fasting day itself starts with your last normal dinner. Sleep does half the work for you. That's 8 hours you're not thinking about food. In the morning, drink water first, not coffee. Water. Then, if you love coffee, delay it until mid-morning if you can, or at least keep it black or completely unsweetened. Why? Because caffeine on an empty stomach can spike cortisol, and cortisol makes you feel wired and hungry at the same time. Not helpful. Keep the morning quiet. I don't mean meditate for an hour. I mean don't start your day with chaos. Light movement, a short walk, gentle mobility, and a few slow breaths to tell your brain there's no emergency here. Avoid doom scrolling because stress magnifies hunger signals. Your brain interprets stress and hunger through overlapping pathways, so if you're anxious, you'll feel hungrier even if your body's fine. Around early afternoon, expect a wobble. That's the moment most people break unnecessarily. Here's the truth. That wobble is habit talking more than real need. Your body is used to eating at that time, so it sends a signal. But if you take a 10-minute walk, sip water, shift to a low-effort task, and just ride the wave, it usually passes in 15 to 20 minutes. Save intense training for another day. If you feel dizzy, shaky, actually faint, or your vision blurs, end the experiment and heat. There is no badge for suffering here. The goal is data, not punishment. I need you to hear that. This is about learning, not proving toughness. As evening arrives, dim lights, lower screens, and plan a calm routine. Shower, stretch, read, or talk to someone who won't turn the conversation into food. If sleepiness shows up early, and it might, accept the gift and go to bed.
That's your body saying, "Let me do the work while you rest." Don't fight it. By the next morning, you'll be 24 to 30 hours from your last meal. And here's what surprises most people. You feel surprisingly steady. Hunger becomes background noise, and your head feels a little clearer, not superhuman, just quieter. That's the shift I want you to notice. Get outside for daylight and rhythm. Keep caffeine modest, if you have any, and watch your signals. If dizziness, shaking, or confusion show up, end it. But if you feel calm and focused, you're in the window we're testing. When your planned break time arrives, and stick to the time you set, don't push it just because you feel fine, sit down, breathe, and break the fast slowly. This is where most people wreck the whole experiment. They've been good for 30 hours, so they reward themselves with a massive meal, and then they feel awful, bloated, and regretful. Don't do that. Lead with protein. Add vegetables. Include a little healthy fat. And only then, if you truly want them, add a small portion of smart carbs. Chew slowly. Pause between bites. Notice how your body responds. You might feel satisfied faster than you expect. That's normal. Your stomach has been quiet. It doesn't need a tidal wave of food to feel safe again. After the meal, hydrate and return to normal eating. Protein at each meal, fiber, vegetables, and a short walk after lunch or dinner. Resist the urge to make up for the fast. That reflex, the one that says, "I didn't eat yesterday, so I deserve extra today," is exactly what turns a clean trial into a blood sugar roller coaster. You didn't lose muscle in 30 hours. You didn't damage your metabolism. You don't need to compensate. Just eat normally and let your body recalibrate. Now, here's your 4-signal scorecard, and I want you to actually write this down tonight. How many minutes did it take you to fall asleep? Did you have any night wakings that lasted more than 10 minutes? What were your afternoon cravings on a 0 to 10 scale? And what was your morning energy on a 0 to 10 scale? Do this same scoring for the next 2 days as well. You're looking for patterns. Faster sleep onset, fewer or shorter wake-ups, cravings down 1 to 3 points, and mornings feeling 1 notch easier. If you see that pattern, the tool likely helped you. If not, the dose was too aggressive for where you are right now, and that's useful information too. Let's troubleshoot the common problems because I've seen them all. If you felt wired at night and couldn't sleep, your lights and screens were probably too bright or your last caffeine was too late. Dim earlier next time and move your final coffee forward by an hour. If you broke the fast and immediately crashed, felt bloated, tired, foggy, you likely ate too fast or too heavy. Next time, break with a smaller, protein-forward plate. Wait 20 minutes, then decide if you want more. If you felt weak during the day, you're probably under-eating protein on your normal days or skimping on sleep. Fix the basics before you try again. And if hunger never settled and you are miserable the whole time, start with a shorter window, 14 to 16 hours twice a week for a month. Then try 24 before you even think about 30. Here's the perspective I want you to carry. You're not failing if the 30-hour window didn't feel good. You're succeeding by learning what your body needs right now. Maybe this tool fits your life twice a month. Maybe it doesn't fit at all, and a steady overnight eating window works better. Both answers are valid. The win is clarity, not compliance. Let's put this tool in the right place on your shelf because here's my honest opinion. A 30-hour fast can be useful once in a while to teach fuel flexibility and rebuild trust in calmer hunger signals, but it is not a lifestyle. After 40, what you keep matters more than what you cut, and I think that distinction gets lost in all the fasting content online.
Everyone's chasing the next extreme protocol, but nobody's talking about the boring, sustainable habits that actually move the needle long term. So here's what you keep, regardless of whether you repeat this fast or not. Keep strength training twice a week. Keep daily protein steady, 1 to 1.5 grams per kilogram every single day. Keep your evenings calm with a digital dusk routine. Keep those short walks after meals. If those anchors are in place, an occasional longer pause can amplify the benefits you already built. But if they aren't, the same pause just feels like stress with extra steps and you'll burn out. Here's a clean decision tree to help you figure out what's next. If your scorecard improved in at least 2 signals, say you fell asleep faster and your cravings dropped, schedule one more trial in 2 to 4 weeks and keep everything else the same. You're collecting more data. If only one signal improved or none did, switch to a gentler approach. A steady 14 to 16-hour overnight window, earlier and lighter dinners, and a 10-minute walk after lunch for the next month. Build the foundation first. If sleep was your main issue, prioritize the evening ritual and digital dusk before you mess with meal timing again. If cravings were the issue, increase protein at your first meal and keep that post-lunch walk consistent. And if you're managing medical conditions or taking complex medications, talk with your clinician before any repeat. This isn't negotiable. Now here's the mindset shift that prevents yo-yo behavior, and this is where I see most people get stuck. You're not proving toughness with a fast. You're not winning a contest. You're collecting feedback. The win is not a number on the scale tomorrow morning. The win is steadier evenings, easier mornings, and a clearer sense of what your body can actually do when you set the stage properly. Have you ever noticed that the healthiest people you know aren't the ones doing the most extreme things? They're the ones doing simple things consistently year after year. That's the game. So if this 30-hour experiment taught you that your body responds well to occasional fasting, great, use it strategically. If it taught you that you feel better with a shorter, more consistent eating window, great, do that instead. Both paths are valid. The mistake is thinking there's one right answer for everyone. There isn't. Your body, your schedule, your stress load, your sleep quality, your age, your health history, all of that matters. And anyone who tells you otherwise is selling you something, not helping you. In the next episode, I'll show you how to pair this kind of metabolic flexibility with a gentle 2-day strength plan that protects muscle, joints, and mood as you age. I'll also walk you through a protein-forward menu that fits real life. No complicated recipes, no exotic ingredients, just practical plates you can build in 10 minutes. Because here's the truth, fasting is just one tool. Strength is another, protein is another, sleep is another, stress management is another. None of them work in isolation, and all of them work better together. If this video helped you see fasting more clearly, without the hype, without the pressure, share it with someone over 40 who's been tempted by big fasting promises and would benefit from a calmer, safer way to test the waters. Drop a comment and tell me, did you try this? What shifted for you? I read every one, and your feedback helps me make better content for this community. Let's keep building sustainable health together, one honest experiment at a time.